Bradford-born Imrul Gazi works in pharmaceuticals. He moved to London and the capital city in 2009. The veteran player, coach and football scout plays an active role within the game he loves. His football journey is most certainly one worth listening to. Thank you for joining us, Imrul.
Thank you for having me, Emdad.
You've enjoyed tremendous success in the game you love, as I've just mentioned here. Why did you take up coaching?
I moved to London when I was, 35, 36, 2009, and obviously I'd played not an outstanding level, but it was, Saturday football, Sunday football. And like I said, as you get older, you always feel like you want to give something back. And when I moved to London, I had my son was 7, 8 years old at the time. And for me, it was a way of spending time with him, and then an opportunity for me to maybe give something back to the community that had offered me so much. And like I said, I did feel like I was a reasonable footballer and played at a reasonable standard.
What position did you play in?
I played all over. It's like anything else. As you get older, you move further back down the pitch. But I started up top, played on the wing, midfield, and over the years, the last maybe 10 years or so, I've been playing centre back. So yeah, like I said, I've done a bit of everything. Like some footballing career, predominantly up north. And then, like I said, when I moved here, the focus really went to coaching and working with children.
I think it's fair to say you're a bit of a utility man, in every sense. You took things, your connection with your son, which you mentioned is very important here as well. So it wasn't just a kickabout in the local park. You took things onto a different level with a local team called FC Osmani.
That's right.
Now, over the years, you've enjoyed tremendous success with them. But why did you choose FC Osmani in the first place?
FC Osmani actually chose me, I think, more than anything else. I think many people watching this from particularly the Tower Hamlets community will know Sana Mia of Osmani Trust. He works for them. They had one team already that was playing in the under-14s league, and he was managing, and he was looking to expand that. And obviously, I'd approached Sana thinking, well, I'd done my level 1. I did it off my own back, paid for it, and then I just wanted to start kind of putting that into practice. So I offered my services to Sana and FC Osmani. And then it just so happened, my son at the time, like I say, was 8. When he moved to London, I found him, and he joined Valence Football Club, which are a brilliant organisation in their own right. Great footballing ethos. So, and then, like I say, I think I saw an opportunity in getting involved with Osmani and kind of running my own team. And hence he offered me the opportunity to start an under-9s at the time it was. And it just meant I could do the both and spend time with my son whilst doing what I love, which is coaching.
And you've enjoyed unprecedented success. Before we move on to that, Sanamia, he just mentioned a few minutes ago, is a community legend. He's been involved at grassroots football for many decades. He's recently suffered from ill health, and the team here would like to wish him a very speedy recovery. Now, going back to what we were discussing, since you took over the reins with the under-9s, did you mention?
It was under-9 at the time in 2010.
So you've had a crop of players who you've been involved with some fantastic development from 9 onwards for a good few years now, which culminated in the recent, well, it was only as recent as last Saturday, Tower Hamlets Youth League champions.
That's right.
Now, what's the secret to your success?
It genuinely is hard work. I think the kids that I've got, they're really good bunch of kids, and we've kind of nurtured them. The talent obviously is there. They had the natural ability from a very young age. Even when the first season when we put the team together, they were runners up behind Valence, who had been together for a long time. I put the team together, and at that time we was coaching them. Myself and Sana we had them once a week on a Friday night, and it just went from there. And I think, like I say, it's a combination of natural ability and then aptitude and attitude. And for me, it's a perfect blend. And over the years, they've obviously just grown in stature, grown in confidence, and then playing together has just kind of really blended a confidence in them. And winning has just become a habit, and it's just a combination of the work that they're putting in, and now it's just become second nature to them. And as you just mentioned, the Tower Hamlets Youth League for them has been bread and butter. That's the league they started in 2009. They then went on to play in the Essex Junior League. But then ultimately, a lot of this crop, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, got involved with the Sporting Bengal Academy. But for me, it's a lot of it is down to their attitude and their work rate and the togetherness as well. They really have become a team, a group of friends that have grown up together over the last 4 to 5 years.
And the proof is in the pudding, Imrul, as they say. I've watched many of your YouTube videos, the ones you put on social media and on YouTube themselves as well. And I must say, I can't be the only person who's derived great pleasure from this. So long may it continue. Now, you've got quite a prominent role within the iconic Bangladesh Football Association. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, again, lots happened since I moved to Bradford, but BFA has become part of my life now. It's it's a charity and organisation that many people will know, and I got involved with Bangladesh Football Association maybe about 4 to 5 years ago now, and I came straight on board and they kind of threw me in the deep end and became vice chairman there. And in terms of what I do is what don't I do is as do every other member of the committee there. We all have a different role, but my role is very much around networking. I'm heavily involved in the Sporting Bengal Academy. I do coaching there. I run one of the teams there. So as well as making putting my doing my bit in every other project. BFA isn't about football. We do a number of other projects. So it's just really overseeing everything and working with the team that we have there, the likes of Aros Bhai, Karul, Jamal Bhai, Manik. There's a number of people that do a lot of work behind the scenes, and we all work together to try and provide the best possible service for our users, which is predominantly the football community in Tower Hamlets, and give them the best possible platform to thrive in.
Previous manager Mamun Chowdhury provided unstinted and many years of golden support and service to the team. Now it seems that the Bangladesh Football Association and Sporting Bengal in particular have gone up a few gears now. What does it mean for the community and for the for football in general to have someone of the caliber of Anwar Uddin involved at this level now?
Massive. It's a massive coup for us. I think ultimately, obviously, Mamun gave a lot of time to Sporting Bengal in particular. 5 years, it's no easy feat for someone to, every week in, week out, to give that many hours voluntarily. It's amazing. So hats off to him. But I think it just came to a time where now we needed a change. Things were becoming a bit stagnant. We didn't have the best season leading up to his final season as Sporting Bengal manager. So I think the timing was right. Anwar was available. Anwar, as you know, was one of our patrons at the Sporting Bengal Academy. He was prominent in setting that up 3 years ago. And from there, from our perspective, it was a no-brainer. I kind of, behind the scenes, is something I'd been kind of working on along with the rest of the guys at BFA. And we convinced him to take the role on. And as you know, he was involved at West Ham when he left the game. He started at the West Ham Academy and then later moved on to manage Malden and Tiptree as an assistant manager in the Ryman's League. So he was like in a bit of a limbo. He was working for FSF, so he didn't really have the time to manage full time. Sporting Bengal seemed the perfect match for him at the time. So after a lot of convincing, I think we managed to get Anwar. And for us, it's a brilliant opportunity. And I think it's a brilliant opportunity for Anwar as well. And I think it's just a no-brainer because he's been involved with BFA for so long that eventually, the two had to meet.
Yes.
And since he's come on board, it's just been, it's been brilliant. The profile of Sporting Bengal has gone up tenfold. With Anwar on board, he's brought an element of professionalism, something that we definitely lacked in the past. The squad has evolved totally to what it was, a season ago. It's still it's still in a state of flux. It's still, we're getting there gradually. We're getting there slowly. But Anwar and his team have done a brilliant job, and we can't be anything more than grateful for the work he's doing there.
Having myself travelled to a few live games and watched Sporting in action this year, I must say, from my putting on my Sporting writer's hat on, from that perspective, I can say that Glove is a perfect fit, and congratulations on everybody for the appointment as well. And we're hoping things will progress very nicely. On that subject, you mentioned the Sporting Bengal Academy. Now, this has become a thriving conveyor belt for local talent now. How's things going over there?
Yeah, again, 3-4 years ago when it first started, I remember Anwar and a few of the other coaches. I came on maybe a few months after when it all started, but my son started when it went. we had about 12 people, 12 boys there, and so it started from 12 to now where we've had to cap it. We've got close to 100 kids attending the academy with 4 age groups. We've got 6 coaches there, all of which have minimum level 2. So it's we play in the league that you know well,
yes.
The East London and Essex Junior League down at Wanstead. It's perfect for everybody. I think at the moment it's a massive, I guess a big pat on the shoulders for BFA and Sporting Bengal, because this is definitely the future. And like you said, conveyor belt is the word. Inshallah, we will have good news to share over the coming months. Brilliant. The academy teams, my under-14 team now, which was the first ever Sporting Bengal academy team 3 years ago when they were under 12s, played in the Essex League. They've always done really, really well. They're competing the top of the table at the moment in the East London and Essex Junior League. And we've got a number of kids from that team who are trialling at pro clubs.
As an ambassador, as a football ambassador, I should add, you're in a very good position now. Whereas you've got links with teams up north and you're living down south as well. I mean, the profile of a team like the Bangla Bantams, for example, or the following, is massive.
Yeah.
And I know you're involved in there. And you're one of the reasons why I became interested in some of the superb things that's going on there. Tell us a little bit about the Bangla Bantams.
Yeah, Bangla Bantams obviously is an organisation or a fans organisation that was created by a young man by the name of Humayun Islam. He's from Bradford, obviously my hometown. And Humayun actually isn't from Bradford, he's from Leeds, but he moved very similar to me. He's an outsider who came in. But he's opened doors and opened avenues, and it's kind of changed things within the community for the better. He's part of an organisation called Shapla Sports Initiative, but he, in association with Anwar's FSF, so Fans Supporters Federation, kind of came up with the initiative to set up the Bangla Bantams with the view to encourage more people from our community, because the Bradford City Stadium is, whether you know it or not, is right in the heart of the Bangladeshi community.
Yes.
And we don't have many people going to watch the game. It's the usual. We're all, everybody supports Liverpool, Man United. So the Bangla Bantam, the concept was to get kids from the local community going to watch the game. Bradford City play. And hopefully with the view to increase participation from the community and gain more fans. And that's what Humayun and his team, Shaidur, Rahman, Humayun, they've all managed to do that. And Bangla Bantams now is just, I think, one of 3 or 4 Asian football supporters groups around the country. I think the others are Punjab Wolves and Derby Rams.
Yep.
So
there's a handful of them.
There's a handful. It's a unique, and to be honest, it's something I'm working on here now with Anwar, that we're going to try to create something very similar for Sporting Bengal, and we're just finding a club that's going to fit with us. So,
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that through you, we'll have them on the show one day as well.
Definitely.
Can we expect Bradford Vets to come and play any friendlies in the near future?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've got BFA holding a number of vets on. We do a number of other tournaments. The 20th of March is our next one. And for the first time ever, the Bradford guys, the vets team, they got together, formed especially for this BFA tournament. They came down, they got to the final. So we kind of redoing that tournament again this year, and the guys have already said they're going to be coming. So hopefully that might be an opportunity for you to get the Bangla Bantam guys on. One
last question for you.
Of course.
How important is it, or how important is the impact of volunteers like yourself? I mean, you've served as an administrator, a coach, a scout. You've probably carried water bottles. You've probably washed kits. You've done the whole thing. How important is the contribution of people like yourselves? There are hundreds and thousands around who will be watching this video as well, in terms of football development.
We are the lifeline of any organisation. We are the people that make organisations work. Without yourselves, without people in whether that be Bangladesh Football Association, whether it be Shapla, Bangla, whoever they are, we're integral. Like I said, we're the guys who are doing all the work unseen sometimes. There's a number of other people that are involved that don't get the recognition, but it has to be done, because like I say, in the society that we're living now, finances are becoming tight, and it's up to us to make sure that we're giving everything we have to a community that's given us so much, and try to give something back to the kids and to the future of our community.
With ticket prices hot on the agenda this week in London and all over the footballing world, it's refreshing to listen to the stories of the likes of Imrul Gazi. Thank you very much for attending the show.
Thank you for having me.
I will be back this time, same time next week. See you soon.